It's your boy Conservist34, and today I want to talk about remembering LeRoi Moore as a fan who never saw him live. LeRoi Moore was the original saxophonist for the Dave Matthews Band and a critical part of the band. And this is a different video for me because I never saw him live. A lot of the people I talk about, even at my young age of being only 27 and seeing some of these artists in my 20s and some in my late teens, I at least have an experience of hearing them at some point. And one of the things I hope to do as I age and get to my last years down the road when I'm 80 years old, I want to be somebody that is a resource that can talk about experiencing some of these legendary artists I've been able to see. I know there's video, I know everything's gonna be online, but I want to share experiences to my grandchildren about seeing Stevie Wonder, even at the end of his career, seeing B.B. King, seeing Greg Allman and the Allman Brothers, seeing some of these rappers who by that time will be probably deceased, unfortunately, as far as Nas and Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes. I want to be somebody who talks about experiencing those things in my life. Because there are people I've talked to, my grandparents, that I get great stories from their perspective of life back in their day. But long story short, I did not see LeRoi Moore live. I've been a fan of this band, or listened to this band, I would say, since the 2000s. I would say the mid-2000s. I was, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I picked up some of the popular songs like Ants Marching and, Satellite and Crash Into Me. But I wasn't fully engaged with the band until I saw my first show in 2012. But listening to a lot of music a little before 2012 and especially 2012 to present, I have heard hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours of music from LeRoi Moore. I've been able to understand over the years just a little bit of his impact on the band. But as someone who's never heard him and wishes that I did hear him live, to me, part of the band passed away with Mr. LeRoi Moore 10 years ago to this day, August 19th, 2008. And I say that because when I listen to songs from 2008 when he was around to back all the way to 93, and when I listen to songs now and I listen to the band and what they do and how they carry themselves, there's nothing that could ever replace Mr. LeRoi Moore, period. The band has been able to establish a new formation since his passing, but it will never be the same. To me, he is the Jerry Garcia of the Dave Matthews Band. I know it's Dave Matthews' band, but the spirit of this band was LeRoi Moore. And that is one thing I've learned from just seeing the band without him and listening to high quality audio, as far as some lossless files and some CD quality stuff that still is pretty good. And I really think that the one thing that sticks out to me is how he learned how to play rock-based music, acoustic-based music. He actually, and this is from DMB Radio, this is on the Sirius XM radio that I learned of it, maybe it was somewhere else. He actually learned from listening to Branford Marsalis, a friend of the band. I've actually seen him play with DMB. Also, someone who's been intertwined with different types of jam bands and rock music for years. He played with the Grateful Dead, but he also played with Sting. There's a song, Englishman in New York, and many other tracks from that 1988 album that Sting has. You see that, there is this influence of a saxophone player playing with a rock star like Sting. And that was the Nothing Like the Sun album that Mr. Marsalis was on. But that was his inspiration on learning how to play with rock music. And I mean, Mr. LeRoi Moore, he learned how to play with rock music, acoustic music, the all sorts of types of music that the Dave Matthews Band plays, not just the soul and funk that he grew up with. But I mean, that's really, you think about a big moment in his life. I think, that's a big thing to hear Mr. Marsalis and then try to learn how to replicate that sound and then craft his own touch into it is a big thing. And then when it comes to challenging Dave, nobody challenged Dave like LeRoi, and that's why he wasn't the front man, but he could have a voice unlike anyone else to Dave and challenge Dave. And LeRoi hated 41, hated the solo in it, but he played it, and they played 41 a lot since '96. I think maybe there have been some other ones in '95, not 100% sure, but that's the mentality that I like about the older band, and even what the newer band does at times. When you are challenged, when you are pushing yourself to the brink, that is my favorite iteration of what I can get from you today. I know D&B can't go back to 2000. They can't go back to 04, 99, 98, 96. They're not in their prime. But when you're challenging yourself at your current skill level and pushing yourself as hard as you can, that is a beautiful thing. So I'll be right back. Hold on. So I say all this to say rest in peace to LeRoi Moore. I really wish I could have seen him live, and this is why I go to shows. This is why I've spent hundreds of, not close to $1,000 that I shouldn't have spent this year on seeing Elton John, going to buy Farm Aid tickets, looking to even go to Stevie Wonder. I don't know. I may have to cut that just for budgeting reasons. This is why I go to shows, is because I don't want to miss a legend before they pass. Even Aretha Franklin, rest in peace to her. I never got the chance to see her like I got to see Stevie and BB and Buddy, Guy, and many other legends of another era. But this is why I spend the money now, and next year and the years after this, I'm probably gonna cut my budget of concerts out because I want to start doing more to prepare for the future. Especially living in Connecticut, we get taxed like crazy. But I just wanted to say rest in peace to LeRoi Moore. And if you have a chance to see a legend of any kind at an older age, or even at a mid-age or younger age, you never know how quickly you think of Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix and many other legends that just they didn't make it out of a certain younger age. So buy the concert tickets. If there's someone you want to see, go see them. Figure out a way to do it if you can, because you never know when someone's last show is, when someone's last bow is out on stage. Rest in peace again to Mr. LeRoi Moore. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.